Well, since I was a kid, I always felt like something wasn't right. Like I don't remember anything from ages 3 and under. Now, about 3.5 and up, I can, think of like certain situations or a moment in time, but I can't remember like a week or a month, of my life that I can remember repetitively just, going through anything. But yeah, I believe that the family that I am in is not really family. I mean, they're family, they might be cousins, but as far as like immediate family, no. I've always felt like I was the redheaded stepchild in the whole family dynamic that I have been in. I came from a family of what I thought was 7 brothers and sisters and a single mother, and she took care of us the best of her ability or whatever. But yeah, I just felt like I never belonged, and it was a few situations that came up. Things were said and I overheard, or I was told directly, and it came to the point where I asked, like, am I adopted? Like, because you don't treat me the way that you treat your other kids. So she never gave me an answer. She just gave me a look. And ever since then, I had started calling her Glow like everybody else because I call her mama every now and then, but she wouldn't like me calling her Glow. But at this point, I kind of figured, and I probably was like 14, 15, but I was never a bad kid. I never gave her any problems, but yeah, I just didn't feel like I belonged. One situation, I remember like it was yesterday. I was like, we was all in in the living room, and we just chit chatting, and who I thought was my brother that was directly up under me, he asked, he was like, "Ma, can we get a dog?" And she was like, "Well, we ain't getting no damn dog. I already got too many mouths to feed." He was like, "Well, you got Tamisha," and I'm sitting there like. Everybody started cracking up laughing. I'm like, okay, well, fuck, just disrespect me right here in my face, But yeah, that was kind of hurtful. And another situation came like later when I was in my probably like middle 20s, One of my sisters, was talking about a picture that she had seen, of 3 sisters. And she was like, "Yeah, it was a picture that said sisters, and it was like three of us, And I'm thinking to myself, well, hell, it's 4 of us. Like, three. What the hell do I fit in?" But then it clicked to me then, like, okay, maybe they trying to tell me something without telling me something. But yeah, it was it. I just didn't feel like they were my immediate family. But then, this whole thing came about where, I felt like I was being attacked by everybody. Um, it was just situations on top of situations and things happening on top of things happening. And then, um, just recently, probably about 3 or 4 months ago, I started like just scrolling through, and then tarot readers pop up, and I'm looking at it, and they basically like telling me who I am. And I'm like, okay, well, I felt like that, but it's nothing that I never tapped into, because I was called crazy. You know what I mean? I'm crazy, I'm this, I'm that. And, after a while, shit, you start believing this shit. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I am right. But then, I'm like, no, because I got more sense than damn near everybody up in here. So I didn't think I was crazy. But, after hearing it so much, how people plant seeds in your head, like, oh, hopefully they tell you something over and over and over again, you start believing the shit. But yeah, that was that. So basically, I don't feel like the family that I'm in is really family. because it was things that happened. It was a few times where I felt like I was being poisoned. Um, a certain situation happened where I felt like I was basically shot at, but by the grace of God, I was missed, and the girl that was standing directly in front of me took that. But it was a sad situation for her. But yeah, I think it was a setup, basically. A setup, and then it takes me back to like a few days before that. My sister, who I thought was my sister, people walk around saying stuff, and then she said something like, shoot her in the head and she won't be able to think no more. So I'm thinking to myself, well, damn, who the fuck is she talking about, And then 3 days later, the shit basically gets shot at and this girl go down. But it was so weird because I'm a homebody, so I would stay to myself in my own little world, minding my own little business. You know what I mean? And this girl, she like, oh, Tamisha, I'm celebrating my engagement. You should come down. We just gonna be down there just kicking it or whatever. Come on down. And I'm like, I don't really fuck with y'all like that, so I'm like, okay. So went down there kicking it, laughing it, joking it, shit, and then pop, pop, pop. And I don't know if it was God, my angels. I don't know who it was, but all I know is I felt the force behind me push me onto the ground. You know what I mean? So I get up, I'm laughing like, damn, I feel stupid because I'm thinking of some fireworks that popped off, but here I am. I'm on the ground and I look up. This girl laid in front of me just bleeding out. I'm like, oh shit. So that was something. And when that happened, I was going through a real depressive period. Nothing was like working out for me. I had a son. He was about 4 years old. And shit, it just seemed like everything was just spiraling down, you know what I mean? But after that happened, I just went, I got my son, and I went and I just fell to my knees and I just prayed. I was just like, God, whatever that is, I don't want to be a part of it. I was just like, help me. I need you. And ever since then, it was about 2005. It's been on an up and up for me. So I praise God for that. And it from 2000 all the way to 2005. It was just a big shit show. And, now I'm thinking about it now and everything that the tarot readers had told me. Well, it's collective readings, but it seemed like they tapped right into me. So and ever since, and